Welcome to Malone Photography Demonstration Exploration Example Showcase within Pic-Time. In today's video, I am going to go through how to actually purchase a wall art piece. So this is your framed artwork. There are three main options you can purchase through Pic-Time. They're just slightly different variations. So the simple frame option, the image will go all the way to the frame. In a matted frame, you're going to have that white mat board around your photo before you get to the frame. So if you like to have a bit of a contrast between the photo, mat board and frame, you can do that. The float frame is a little bit different in that it is very similar to the mat board, but instead of a mat board, your photo is suspended within the glass. This can look particularly cool if you have a feature wall in your home that's a different color, vibrant color, anything like that. Or just something other than white, because you can get a different color, a really accent color around the photo before it gets to the frame. I'm just going to use a simple frame today as the example. So you would click into the product, or you can select it from the drop down at the top. And then you're going to see that we've got a few options. There are a few pictures here you can have a look at, and just like in the gallery, you can scroll left and right through them, and it shows you a little bit about what the finish will kind of look like. Okay. So yeah, you will then pick the frame size that you would like to purchase. If these do change, you may see different options here. You're going to start off by choosing your frame size that you would like, and it is in centimeters because we are in Australia and it is the metric system. So let's say, for instance, you want to go with the 40 by 60 centimeter. It's then going to give you the size photos that you're able to have within that frame. You're able to pick these. I do highly recommend avoiding square shapes. I have purposely stuck to frame sizes that I think will accentuate and make the photos that I take of you and your dogs look their best. I find sometimes the style of photos that I create, sometimes people may want to have a square photo, but that photo kind of then feels a little bit odd or weird once you put it down to a square crop. So just keep that in mind. As much as possible, try to avoid square crops. If you really do want a square, please chat to me first, just so I can let you know which photos might lend themselves to that more naturally. You can then pick if you would like a portrait or landscape orientation. For instance, this photo is naturally a landscape one. If we were to go to portrait, it is then automatically going to kind of crop in on the center. So if the photo that you're looking at is one that is already in landscape, I would probably stick to landscape, just because that's how the photo is going to look best. You can then pick which color frame you would like. If you wanted to hold off until you've selected the actual image to choose your frame, that's fine. These are the kind of most common colors that you might already have frames on in your home. For instance, in my home, we have a lot of black frames, so I would stick to black, but you might like a classic wood or a white. It really is dependent on you and your home and your style. If you wanted to hold off and select that, you can come down to the photos, and what you're going to do is you're just going to select the photo that you would like to get framed, and you can choose one that is in the proofing section. So if you wanted to jump between the two, you can. If you favoritized any, which you can do by simply hearting them in the gallery, you can jump through to favorites as well. So that way you've already kind of narrowed down which ones you might like. So let's just, for instance, say we're going to pick one that I have not edited. We'll just go with this one for now. You'll see in the frame, it doesn't look edited because I haven't edited it yet. What you're going to do is you're going to add that to the cart. Once you've added it to your cart, it'll sit there. You can either continue shopping or proceed to checkout. If you proceed to checkout, any print credit from the collection will automatically be applied to that purchase. If for what instance you wanted to make a few purchases, or you want to make a larger purchase that exceeds the value of the print store credit, it will take the amount of the print store credit off that, and it will then ask you to pay the additional amount. So you've got some flexibility there. That's it for this one. It's pretty straightforward. And then once you sent it, put the order through, and you do actually need to have paid for that order, whether through your print store credit or if there's an additional amount paid for that additional amount, I will then be notified. I will edit that and I will then send that off to the printer for you. You won't need to do anything. The only other thing I'm going to mention is, please, when you go back, I'm just going to go back into it for you to show you. If, for instance, you're looking at this photo and when you hover over it, you're like, oh, I really, really want to highlight something specific. If you come in here, for instance, and you zoom in, let's say you just really want his upper body and you do this, you will need to let me know that you have done this. This is a limitation of the system in that it does not notify me that you have done a crop. So unless absolutely necessary, please avoid cropping a photo. If you would like a specific type of crop, please let me know, and what I will do, and then you will then leave this completely uncropped, let me know. I will then do that cropping for you so that I can make sure that the image as a whole and the edit is as well balanced and will highlight what you're wanting to highlight as best possible. Just a request from me, just to make sure that we don't run into any issues with your order, because I would hate to see that, especially when you are ordering artwork to feature on your wall. So if you do want to crop, let me know. Otherwise, pick your frame size, pick your print size, your orientation. Please stick to the orientation that the photo is already in, or let me know if you have ordered a different orientation. Pick your color size and then pick the photo that you'd like and add it to your cart. So that's it for that one. The next video I'm going to do will be either memory boxes or albums, and then that will come to me. I'll edit it, it'll go off. That's it for today. I feel like I'm starting to hit a bit of a wall with what I'm able to do, but I've got 2 more videos that I want to record today. Fingers crossed I can finish them. All right, I'll see you next time.